Good day, Market Chameleons and everyone joining for the first time. Thanks for coming by and watching the Market Chameleon live webinar series. Before we get started, let's take a look at the shared disclaimer. Please be aware that neither Dimitri, Market Chameleon, or myself are a registered investment advisor or a broker dealer. If you're searching for investment advice, please reach out to a licensed professional. This webinar, as all our webinars and shows, are for informational purposes only concerning Market Chameleon tools and products. With that, one last look at the disclaimer, and let's welcome Dimitri Pargamonic to the stage. We'll be talking about percentile ranking options straddles. How you doing this morning, D?
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Good. Let me remove this and pop your screen up.
Yep. Let me know if you see the...
Yep, and there's the Market Chameleon landing page.
Good morning, everyone. And today what we'll do is look at option straddle screener and use a benchmark to compare the current market price to a historical range based on historical implied volatilities for similar type straddles. Let's go first to the screener, and then we'll show you by example. On the top, you see the main menu. Hover over screeners, go over to straddles, at the money straddles. We're going to click on that. This will take us to our at the money straddle screener. I'm just going to close this to expand our screen. And here up top, you could see these are our filters, and below we have our data table. Right now it's defaulted to the next expiration. We can expand this, and what I'm going to do is create a screener to show us options expirations that expire in the next 30 days. So a particular security can have more than one expiration that will expire in the next 30 days. You could have an expiration expires tomorrow, in 7 days, in 10 days, 20 days. So they'll all come and appear in this screener. So I'm going to click on this. This way we're not looking at just a particular expiration. And now we have straddles that are going to expire within the next 30 days. And you can see here we have over 5,800 different straddles. That here NVIDIA has a lot of them, Google, and you can see you could tab through all of these. So when we look at a straddle, we have this, what's a straddle? At the money straddles, we're looking at a strike that's closest to the underlying stock price. And then we're looking at the call and the put, either buying the call and the put, or selling the call and the put. And this is a option straddle, where it's not a directional type of trade, but it's a volatility trade, where you want the stock to move in either direction. And we have this premium. So let's say we do add up the price of the call and the put, and we have this premium. And we need to kind of ask a typical question will be like, is this premium high or low? What are we looking at? Are we in the high end of the range or low end of the range? So that, to answer that question, or to help us answer that question, we could use some historical benchmarks to make a comparison. On a relative basis, here's the price of the straddle now, and how was the straddle price historically if we give it similar situation. So what I'm going to do here is, there are different ways to benchmark it. One, we could just benchmark it based on how the stock moved historically, or we could benchmark it based on the implied volatilities of similar options. So we're going to look at the implied volatilities of similar options. I'm going to go to this tab over here, IV-based Theo. I'm going to switch to that. And what this does is, you can see from left to right, we have the stock symbol with the price and market cap, that's NVIDIA. Then here we have these straddle details, and from what perspective are we analyzing it, from the sell side or buy side? So this gives us the expiration and the strike price of the straddle that we are analyzing. So when we look at market prices, if we're looking at it from the price, where can we sell it? What's the best available price to sell it? We'll look at the bid price. What's the best available price to buy the straddle? We'll look at the ask price. And of course, you may be able to get a better price with limit orders, but as a starting point, we look at the displayed price and analyze it from that perspective. Just to make it easier, I'm going to go up here in our filters, and let's analyze it from, let me see if I could switch it here to, or is it from this side? We're going to go to the Theo, and let's analyze it from the buy side. Okay. This way, we're going to narrow down what we're trying to do. Let's say we're looking for that we're analyzing the ask price of this option as if we were going to, if we could buy it on this ask price. Okay, so we switch this buy sell action to just buy. Okay, so you could see if we're buying it, then we're looking at this market price, which is the ask price. So now we have this market price. Look over here in NVIDIA, you could see that, we have different expirations, different strike prices. And then we have this ask price. And so the question is, are we on the high end or low end of the historical range? If we looked at similar straddles historically. And to do that, well, we'd have to then do a couple things. One, we'll have to look at historical straddles or options that have the same days to maturity, because you could see that you have different expirations. These different expirations have different days to maturity. So you could have 2 days to left, 10 days, 15 days. Well, you need to compare to a constant days to maturity, because you can't compare a straddle with 5 days to go and use historical observations of options that have 30 days to go or 100 days to go, because that implied volatility could be different, factoring in more uncertainty as you go out, right? So with 30 days to go or 100 days to go, well, there's much more stuff that could happen as you go out further, more uncertainty. So the implied volatilities could reflect that, or more events that are covered as you go out further. With 5 days to go, you might have more certainty in the next 5 days, then as you go out further. Doesn't mean something unexpected can't happen, but the less time, usually you have more information of what's going on in the next 5 days, as far as economic reports, earnings reports, and so forth. So that's one thing we'd have to do in our study. And then if there are any known events, we could also kind of incorporate them, because if you have, for example, here in Google, there's an event, if you hover over, that's going to cover earnings. Well, then we'd want to go back in history and say we need to find similar straddles that also covered earnings the same way, because that's what we want to compare. How were similar straddles priced historically that did cover earnings? Because because that's a binary event, so we'd have to isolate our observations to those types of data points. Okay, so let's say we do all this. So then we have these observations, and let's say for example in NVIDIA, right? We could open up this analysis, and what this does is it looks back in history and takes, same days to expiration, similar circumstances, and it says, okay, for options, and you're not going to always get exactly at the money, but if they're 1% above, 1% below, we're going to find similar options, and then we're going to say, okay, what were the implied volatilities historically for similar options? So these are the implied vols for the call and the put. And if we plug that implied volatility back into the Black-Scholes, well, what would the straddle be priced at today? Right. So we're working backwards and saying, well, so for 37.1 vol, for example, what would the price of the straddle be priced today? 794. If we plugged in 35.6 vol, it'd be 7.6. So we're going back in history using our benchmarks. These are 463 observations, it says. And it's looking away that there are no earnings periods. So NVIDIA is not expected to report earnings prior to this expiration, so it would remove those for us. So now that we did all that, and we have our benchmarks, we could start comparing it to the market price of this 775, right? So if we took the average of all our observations, right, just the average, and to know, are we above or below our average, right? So we need a benchmark. We have a lot of observations here. First thing we do, well, let's take the average and see what that says. Okay, so I'm going to, well, let's keep this open for now. So our average is 925, right? So this is kind of over here. I think that this was based off yesterday's observation. So there is one extra observation in this right now. So we could see here that the average is above our current market price, which shows us, okay, now we're below the average historically, not above, but below the historical average, which we say, if we converted it to a theoretical edge, said, well, if this is our fair value, the average, the market price is this, then theoretically it's 19% edge. Okay, so if in the long term, this would be, if the average looks like this. But we could ask other questions, because the average could get pulled up with outliers. If we could have could have a really big outlier out there that, is, I don't know, let me see if I could find one. You could see there's some of them are in the $14 range, $17 range here. So that will start pulling the average up. So the next question might be, okay, out of all these Theos that we generated based on the historical IVs, right, we have a lot of them. How many of them were, if we plug them back in the Scholes model, how many of them were below, would have given us a below value of 775, and how many are above? So this gives us now more information based on their data points. So if like 775 is the lowest, that would mean zero or zero. If the lowest was, like, say 780 historically, well, then that means zero of our observations were below the current value. 100% would be above, right? So that's what we want to see. Well, how many were below? That's the percentile rank. Okay, so that percentile rank over here is 30 percentile. 28.8. This is rounded. So what this is saying is, well, compared to 775, 30% of the historical observations were below. 70% were above. So this is now letting us know that right now the premiums, right, based on the implied vols, the premiums on closer to the lower end of the range than the higher end of the historical range. 70% of the historicals were above. Okay. So that's another question now we're seeing we're below the average, 19%, 30%. The next question, well, how many observations were above, below? 30% below, 70% above. What about the extremes? How far are we away from the extremes? So the extremes would be the lowest observation and the highest, right? So that's what this is. So the lowest observation we had was, if we used the lowest implied vol in our observation, plugged it in, would have given us a value of 564. So today's straddle would be worth 564, compared to 775. The highest was 2056 compared to 775. So we could see we're not at the lower, we're $2 above that, but we're much further away from the high, right? Whatever it is, almost $13, a little bit below $13. So yes, we're closer to the low of the, we're much closer to the lower end of that historical range than the higher. And this lets us quickly, right, scanning, evaluate straddles. Straddles, within the same security for different expirations, different strikes, and across different securities. So you could see here, that the Google, they're priced above the historical range. Although this one is looking also, some of these have earnings. So if you have an earnings, you could see here, now we have less observations because earnings happen less frequently. So we need the data points with earnings. But as you can see here now, if we compare it to a historical data points, this is priced above the average, in the higher percentile ranks, almost 70%. And you could see here the high, low, closer to the high. And we could use filters, to look for certain, percentile ranks or ID or edge based on the average versus market price. And the screener would help us then, do that quickly using those historical benchmarks. So, Will, I'm going to stop there and throw it back to you.
Great job as always, D. Thanks for bringing this to the Chameleon community. We will see you tomorrow, my friend.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. Stay safe and have a great trading day.
Have a great day, D. Thanks so much. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining another Market Chameleon webinar series. We are having a show with Ryan after the close today, 4:30. I put a link to the webinar in the chat, so grab it there, or just follow us on YouTube and you will get alerted. Everyone have a great, safe trading day, and I will talk to you later.